Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ainun Jura binti Ma'adam and my matric number is 265222. I am a final year student of Bachelor Technology Management. The title of my FYP is the acceptance level of Stml student toward e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic had increased broadly and is gaining attention among people around the world. E-learning is not a new concept in the field of education. Besides, this learning will also be discussed how students relate to technology today. The use of technology to students is very important nowadays, especially in this pandemic. E-learning has become a compulsory element of all educational institutes like school, college, and even universities around the world during the COVID-19 pandemic. This awful situation has obliterated the offline teaching process. The use of the desktop, laptop, smartphone, and the internet are the key components in this education methodology. According to BASA, Water and Avenger 2018, e-learning is an information network that interlaces various dimensions of education, include education material, record sound, video, text, discussion, quiz, or assignment. According to a study by Lee and Tsai, in online learning, students prefer to access learning resources in the form of lecture slide, video lecture, joint tasks, and forum message. The transition from classroom learning to distance learning for certain people are not simple. A study aims to look at the acceptance level toward e-learning of Stml students. Problem statement. A study focused on acceptance level of Stml students toward e-learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some universities around the world had been utilized online interactive application to learn from home. Since its emergence, the COVID-19 pandemic period, universities around the world, including Stml students, had to implement virtual learning method using instant online platform. Learning during the COVID-19 pandemic, many students have encountered challenge on education using e-learning due to the web connection. Some Stml students who live in rural area face difficulty getting good internet access. Additionally, there are a number of students allowed to attend classes due to internet problem at their place. However, because of the COVID-19 pandemic period, all universities around the world were closed due to increasing cases from day to day. So, all students were instructed to back to their respective homes. When learning from home, some students have problems with their surroundings. Then it may disrupt a student's focus on learning. Research objective. The following are the research objectives proposed for this research, which is to identify the acceptance level of Stml students toward e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic. This research was carried out utilizing a quantitative approach. Quantitative method can help researchers to find out more about the acceptance level of Stml students toward e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic. A population size for this study is the population size of Stml students of 1,752 Stml students. This method is used to save cost and time to encourage students to answer the survey question provided easily. In this study, SPSS software were used to run analysis. The participants for the experimental part of the research were students from Stml in UUM. The questionnaire was created using Google Form and the link was shared on the student WhatsApp page. For the collection, the questionnaire survey was chosen. The questionnaire survey comprised demographic questions, dependent variable and independent variable such as perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and attitude toward e-learning. In addition, to analyze data, the researcher used descriptive statistics, reliability, normality testing, and correlation. There are 182 valid responses that qualify for the data analysis. Respondents were asked to use the 5-point Likert scale to express their opinions and acceptance of the statement in the survey. The scale went from 1 to 5, with 1 indicating significant disagreement and 5 indicating strong agreement. According to Mawardah 2013, low agreement has a mean value of 1 to 2.33, moderate agreement has a mean value of 2.34 to 3.66, and high agreement has a mean value of 3.67 to 5. Table shows that the mean value of dependent variable, purchase usefulness, and attitude toward rate as moderate. Meanwhile, mean values for purchase is of use rate as high. Based on table, it can be concluded that purchase if of use has the highest mean, which is 3.72, and standard deviation is 0.830. The second highest mean is attitude towards, which is 3.66, and standard deviation is 0.876. Mean value for purchase usefulness is 3.55, and standard deviation is 0.889. Meanwhile, for acceptance of e-learning, the mean value is 3.00 and standard deviation is 1.098. According to Palan 2001, a Cronbach alpha score of 0.6 to 0.8 indicates good dependability and acceptability. The Cronbach alpha of acceptance of e-learning, which is DV, is 0.600. The Cronbach alpha of purchase usefulness is 0.849. For purchase is of use, the Cronbach alpha is 0.867. The Cronbach alpha of attitude toward is 0.858. This shows that the reliability of the question in questionnaire are strong. The skewness value for acceptance of e-learning is 0.361. Meanwhile, the kurtosis is negative 0.465. For purchase usefulness, the skewness value is negative 0.335. Meanwhile, the kurtosis is 0.017. Besides, the skewness value for purchase is of use is negative 0.197, and the kurtosis is negative 0.494. And lastly, for attitude toward, the skewness value is negative 0.323. Meanwhile, the kurtosis is negative 0.297. Regarding to this result of skewness and kurtosis normality test, the value are within negative 1.996 to positive 1.96, and the data was confirmed have been distributed normally. The researcher used Pearson correlation analysis. For purchase usefulness, according to table, the Pearson correlation shows a positive relationship between purchase usefulness and acceptance of e-learning, which is R equal to 0.447, p-value equal to 0.000. There are a strong relationship between purchase usefulness and acceptance of e-learning. For purchase is of use, the Pearson correlation shows a positive relationship between purchase is of use and e-learning and acceptance of e-learning, which is R equal to 0.331, p-value equal to 0.000. There are a strong relationship between purchase is of use and acceptance of e-learning. For attitude towards, the Pearson correlation, which is R equal to 0.354, p-value equal to 0.000, shows a positive relationship between attitude toward and acceptance of e-learning. There are a strong relationship between attitude toward and acceptance of e-learning. In conclusion, this study was carried out to get the acceptance level of Stml students toward e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic. From this chapter, it presents the conclusion, recommendation, discussion, and implementation of the study. In addition, quantitative data analysis method were used for this study based on questionnaire to be distributed amongst Stml students in University Utara Malaysia. The researcher also found the relationship between dependent variable and independent variable. There was a positive relationship between dependent variable and independent variable. Besides, the hypothesis of H1, H2, and H3 was supported.